Welcome back to the Katrina and Tim channel, your place for all things LDR. Tim here for another cooking extravaganza. Today, we are going to be cooking daing silog and log silog. What is that? So that's longanisa and milkfish, a Filipino favorite. Okay, the first step of the process is I'm gonna get this wok warm. I'm gonna oil it. There we go, just make sure it has a nice coating all around. Go, and it's just enough. Okay. And just like with most Filipino dishes, main staple is going to be the rice, but today it's going to be rice with garlic, all fried up. Now, first thing we want to do is we want to take this garlic and we want to make it golden brown. And you want to make sure not to burn it. So I'm just going to put that in there. And right away we're going to want to start stirring it. You can now see that the garlic is nice and golden brown, so we're going to go ahead and put the rice in there. There we go. Alright. Now we make sure we get all the rice in there. Every little piece. Wouldn't want to miss a grain. We're also going to want to add this nom nom seasoning. This is one of Katrina's favorites. Go ahead and open it up. There we go. Go ahead and sprinkle that on before you start stirring it. And you use that as an alternative to salt. It just gives you a slightly different flavor. There we go. Okay. We just want to give that a good stir. We want to make sure everything gets mixed up together. Okay, now it looks like the rice is perfectly coated in all the different seasonings. It's nice and fried up. I've turned off the heat, and I'm just going to let that sit as I move on to the next dishes. Alright, now it's time for the longanisa. So, just like you'd cook a hot dog, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some water in the pan. There you go. I'm going to take that longanisa. Okay. Go ahead and get that in there. There we go. You notice I got a few pieces of rice on there, but it's not going to hurt because they're going to be going together anyways. I'm gonna let those bad boys cook up for a few minutes and then I'm gonna turn them over. Notice how they're all tied together. They've got these links between them. I'm gonna go ahead and cook it really well before we cut it. We're just gonna wait till after it's finished and then we'll take them apart. But during the cooking process, we leave it together. I just don't want them falling apart while we're cooking them. All right, while the longanisa is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start frying that milkfish. Today, I'm gonna use peanut oil to make it. Now, the nice thing about peanut oil is it has a higher smoke point than typical oil. So you can get it hotter and you don't have to worry about it being smoky or getting that burnt flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the pan. Okay. And I'm just gonna let that heat up for a second, make sure that the pan is properly coated. Now that the pan is nice and hot, I'm gonna go ahead and add that milk to it. And we want to let this one cook up until it's nice and golden brown. You'll notice that's the thing. You never want to cook something until it's all the way burnt. Making sure it has a nice and golden brown color. That is the target, and it'll probably take you a few times before you get it just right. You know, there's a lot of variables in cooking, but once you start to get used to it, you're going to be able to find what's that right temperature and what's that right time and what's the right time to flip. Okay, I see that that's become nice and golden brown. So it looks like I'm losing a little piece of skin. Turn that over. There we go. And you can see, because this is a fairly thin piece of fish, it's going to cook up really fast and you're going to get to that golden brown really, really quick. So just make sure you check it several times. Don't give it too long before you take a look. You'll be surprised at how quickly this will cook up. I'm going to go ahead and say that this one is nice and done. Okay, now to make any silog complete, you need to have a fried egg with it. I'm going to go ahead and oil this pan. I've already heated it up. And I'm not going to follow typical directions for this. I'm going to do 2 fried eggs at the same time. They're going to come together a little bit, but I think it's going to turn out just fine. There. We'll cook that up, we'll give it 1 flip, and then it should be ready to go. Okay, I think we're ready now for our first flip. Just gonna go ahead and take this egg, get underneath it. Oh, there we go, nice and brown on the bottom side. Let's go ahead and get this other one. probably gonna be a little bit more difficult. Let's do it without breaking the yolk. There we go. All right, now I'm just gonna give that maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, and I think it's gonna be ready to put on the plate. Now I think the longanisa is perfectly done. There's a little bit of caramelization, you can see that, and this is because it's a sweet longanisa. There's sugars in there are going to caramelize, and it's going to create a little bit of a coating, and so this is just the way that I like it. You just want to have a little bit of that darkness on there, and it's good to go. And this is what the final product looks like. You notice we've got 1 cup of rice, there's that 1 fried egg, you've got the bangus, and you've got 2 longanisa with 3 cherry tomatoes, and that's just for a little extra flavor. Katrina likes her dipping sauce. This is a combination of vinegar, garlic, and you see there's a pepper in there. I'm not a big fan of the bangus, and I think that's pretty typical of Westerners, is that they don't enjoy the fish, although I'm sure it does taste good. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have 4 longanisa, 3 cherry tomatoes, that 1 fried egg, and then 1 cup of rice. All right, Katrina, it's time to dig in.
All right. Actually, it's really nice because here in the United States, we have fried rice, but they don't have the typical Filipino garlic fried rice, which I really like. And back in the Philippines, and just like a normal day, we usually don't eat a bunch of like, you know, daing, egg. You know, if you don't really have that much money, you just eat the fried rice alone, and that's how my mom used to make it. So just put fried rice with a little bit of salt and garlic, and that's gonna be, you know, good already for breakfast. So yeah, it's really good that Tim started making this for me, because so far I've never been so satisfied with like the Filipino restaurants around here, but what he makes so far is really good. So let me try this one. I'm just gonna use my hands. I wash my hands, so let's do it Filipino way. So I have the bangus here. This is daing na bangus. Dip it with a little bit of vinegar. See? Yummy. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And a tip for all those guys out there, if you're cooking for your wife, the trick to making it good is ask her for advice up front on how she wants to cook. There's a lot of recipes for fried rice, there's a lot of recipes for fish. There's a lot of different ways that you can cook it, and there's a lot of different versions of longanisa, for example. But if you pick the right one, the one that she likes, the outcome is going to be much, much better.
Yeah. So here in the United States, the typical fried rice is the yam chow, which there's peas, there's Chinese sausage, but really what I like is the Filipino way, which only like, you know, just garlic and salt or garlic and seasoning. And it's like the perfect breakfast for me. It's so good. Yummy.
And me, I really like the sweet longanisa. We got a sweet longanisa this time. It's caramelized really nicely. You'll see in the video that I did that there's a nice caramelization. It's a little bit burnt on the outside, but that's the way that I like it. And this tastes really good.
Oh yeah, this one is nice. Yeah. And it's good, it's not fatty.
Yeah.
I like it. And I like dipping my longanisa in the vinegar too.
Katrina loves vinegar on everything.
Yep. I can eat rice in vinegar. Oh my god. It's so nice because today, sorry, I'm eating with I'm talking while my mouth is full. Anyway, today it's raining. It's kind of like a gloomy weather today, and I know every Filipinas there is like, this is like the perfect day to eat like daing na bangus and sinangag like in the morning. And it's just like what I love is like Filipino breakfast, and then you wake up early in the morning, it's gloomy, it's raining, or maybe there's bagyo. So yeah, it's really nice. I love it. I love it a lot.
Yeah, For any Westerner who hasn't tried Filipino breakfast, I can honestly say that one of my favorite Filipino dishes is a Filipino silog. Whether that's tocino, longanisa, the beef, there's a lot of different options that you can have. And that to me, if you're a picky eater, this is probably going to be one of the easiest meals for you and most delicious.
Yeah. No, it's really good. So yeah, thank you for all your suggestions with all the food, and I love it. Tim is like, you know, he's always excited to make Filipino dish for me, and I'm really happy about it. I'm like, we're so thankful that we started this series, because obviously I get to eat my favorite Filipino food without having to go to restaurants, and I kind of like guide him the way I like him to make it, so I'm really happy about it.
I'm happy too.
Yeah.
So what's next on the list? So we still have some, I know that there was some requests. I have to make pico express. I still need to make champorado, which I have all the ingredients for the champorado, so look out for that one. Maybe next week we'll do the pico express. I think the challenge is we don't want to do multiple Filipino dishes in the same weekend. That'd be just too much of a good thing, if there is such a thing.
And also, like, to be honest, we actually try to eat healthy at least 5-6 days in a week. And if we eat rice like every single day, it's gonna be hard. So we try to just, you know, make one Filipino dish, one every weekend. And like the rest of the week, we try to, like, you know, try to eat healthy as much as we can. So yeah, so hopefully this coming weekend, we're gonna make maybe champorado, maybe the Bicol Express. So, but of course, we're gonna show it to you for sure.
And this food is good. It's just not good for you.
If it's, yeah, it has to be in moderation, of course. Especially the rice. And for me, I cannot say no to rice. Like, I can eat rice, just rice, you know, and soy sauce. So if it's available, then I cannot stop eating it. Just like a few days ago, I have some Filipino friends that visited and had dinner in our house, and that day I am not supposed to make chicken curry, but then I posted that we have a lot of grapes on our side yard, and I asked them to like come over and pick some because it's all falling on the ground already. And then they're like, okay, Katrina, we'll go come over today. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't have any food prepared for them because the menu for that day for us, for me and him, is I'm supposed to make teriyaki chicken and quinoa. But then I had to change it, which is fine with me. I don't really mind it. So I end up making chicken curry and a bunch of rice. So I ate that. I'm like, oh my god, I've been so good for that week. But then that night I just ate the rice and chicken curry, and it's super good. So, but yeah, like, so we don't do it like every time. But you know, we have to do it like in moderation. But yeah. But this one is really good. I like it a lot. So yeah, well, next week we're gonna try to make it's either champorado or Tim will make it. Champorado or Bicol Express.
And seriously, guys, these dishes are not that hard to prepare or make. A lot of times you can find, if you have an Asian market nearby, you can find the longanisa, you can find the bangus. You find everything that you need for these breakfasts, and once you have the ingredients, it's super easy.
And it's a lot cheaper to instead of going to the restaurant, because we've tried. I mean, we've tried going to restaurants like Filipino restaurant, but I am not 100% satisfied like the taste. So I'm good that Tim started like learning it, and he's making it for me. I'm so happy about that. Yeah, it's really good.
The other reason to learn to cook is, you know, we live on the West Coast, but we previously were in San Francisco. When we moved up to the Northwest, we had a lot fewer options when it came to Filipino food. So the Bay Area has a very high population of Filipinos. Portland, not as much, but it's still a West Coast city, so you're still gonna have a high variety of foods. But if you were to move to the South, for example, or the Midwest, Filipino food has not become mainstream in the United States, and so you're gonna have a lot harder time finding that versus, say, a Thai, a Japanese, a Chinese, even a Vietnamese. And so the more you can learn how to cook it yourself, the better access that you're gonna have to it.
That's true. That's very true.
I'm already full.
Oh, wow, that's quick.
No.
You can't say no to this. You probably have another rice after this.
Yeah, there's plenty of rice. Come over and eat with us.
Yeah. Hopefully next time Tim cook, maybe I can invite some of my Filipino friends so we can all share the food together. Because it's pretty dangerous. Like the sinigang, like I ate it all by myself. Well, Tim had some of it, but like I ate it the entire weekend, like for 2 days. Actually until Monday. That's all I've been eating, and I can't say no, it's like my favorite dish, so. Yeah, hopefully next time we can invite some people over and then we can all share the Filipino food together.
Yeah. Katrina wanted me to practice making food first because she didn't want me to embarrass her in front of her friends.
You're good. I think you're doing really good so far, yeah.
Thank you.
I like all the food you've made. No complaining. Or maybe next time we can make American breakfast.
Oh yeah. That's super easy.
Yeah, your favorite American breakfast.
You make some biscuits and sausage. And
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'll make that for, if you were moving to the United States from the Philippines, I'll show you how to make an American breakfast that all Americans will love. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, you can make it to your husband, for your husband.
Or wife, if there's a Filipino guy moving here first.
That's true. Sarap. Alright, shall we toast?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The weather is so like bad weather today.
But it's okay because we're inside and we're enjoying this delicious food. Okay, we're gonna sign off. Thanks again for viewing. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to know exactly when we upload new content, and share with your friends. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and see you till the next video. Bye.
Bye.